Hey guys, this is Shell, and I know a lot of people disagree with this video, but this video is about being submissive in your romantic relationships. I think a lot of us get caught up on semantics. We get caught up on how the word submissive sounds. It kind of has a negative connotation to a lot of people, and it just like conjures up this idea of like you bow down to your boyfriend or husband doing whatever he says and stuff like that. And so I don't really think we have to necessarily label it like submissive or submission or whatever like that. But I think just it's more about, to me, it's more about cooperation and just being like a sweet spot in like a man's life, if that man is like somebody who actually cares about you and treats you well. And some like where he is excited to talk to you, excited to come home to you, or whatever like that, because you're supportive of him, or you're not that you never voice your opinions or you never disagree with him or anything, but it's just about like, I think, not causing unnecessary arguments and stuff like that all the time. Just more so, trying to talk it through, or everybody's gonna argue sometimes, but picking your battles, I think, is more so, rather than just being argumentative for the hell of it, basically. And I think really that type of thing will really, it's not like, oh, let me just do this so I can like be the best girlfriend or get in good graces with my partner. It's not so much that, like, it'll just make the relationship more peaceful in general. You'll be at peace with yourself more. And so I feel like it's more about that. And yeah, just being supportive and still having that voice, but just like I said, not being as argumentative, and letting your man make some decisions sometimes. I love men who, no man is like 100% dominant all the time, but I love men who have like the dominant side when need be, and where they can make a decision, they can, like take control and stuff like that. And I'm starting to realize I've always liked that, so it didn't work out when I dated men who were just like almost 100% passive. I didn't like that. And so I like somebody with a backbone. I like somebody who can plan something, who can make a decision and stuff like that. And I also think the reason why the word submission gets like a bad rap is because a lot of time it's like bitter men saying, oh, women need to go back to how they were before, and they need to be submissive, and they need to do this and they need to do that. And I think women, they resent that type of thing. But I think it's because, and I've learned this from observing like some other people and talking to some older people and stuff like that, is like being submissive is like something you should do like for the right man, or for a man who treats you well. You know what I mean? And I think a lot of people start resenting people, and they hate that word submissive, because a lot of the time they think it means you are going to get taken advantage of and screwed over. That happens when you're being submissive to the wrong guy, or guy who doesn't deserve it. That's what I personally feel like. That's where a lot of the resentment and the negativity towards the word and stuff comes into play. A lot of the time I feel like the relationships that I've seen work, where the woman is a little bit more submissive, is the one where that man will do anything for that woman. Like, the man, he'll like bend over backwards. He is all about like taking care of his family, his wife and stuff. Like, even if she works, he's like, he's a stand-up guy. He's gonna like provide for his family. He's not gonna like, be a wimp and like, let his family go hungry, or he's not gonna like let his family, like, if it's up to him, his family's gonna live comfortably and stuff like that. And he like treats his woman with respect and stuff like that, and in return she'll do sweet things for him and stuff like that. And I think the older I get, like, the more I enjoy stuff like that. And I don't even think men like these days want like a wind-up doll or anything like that, because like I said, I have a voice. I love having conversations and stuff like that. But I do enjoy being that sweet person like in a guy's life, where if I feel like he cares about me, I like making him feel better and stuff like that, when, especially like if he's stressed out or stuff like that. And, I used to be more selfish when I was younger, and, I'm getting a little better now, as far as like, I like to be taken care of and stuff like that. But I feel like if a guy treats me well, I will be more receptive to being, more, I'll just say cooperative, um, rather than so, my guard being up all the time. And I think a lot of this backlash against submission has to do with your guard being up. And like I said, it's kind of the word too, because it's not my favorite word in the world. So I usually just say like soft or something. Like, I'm a little bit more soft in a relationship. Um, but I still, yeah, like I said, it's not my favorite word in the world. So yeah, I'll say like a little bit softer and stuff like that. And so I think it really just makes things more peaceful for you. And it's like I said, I'm not trying to tell anybody who, like, what they have to do or who they have to be. Like, you have a choice. I'm just saying that if you are that type of person or you want to be more submissive in your relationship, I don't think there's necessarily anything wrong with that. As long as you know how to distinguish between these bitter men that are just like, oh, trying to command you to like do stuff and say you need to be more submissive, and somebody who really cares about you. And a lot of times those guys who really care about you, they're not going to really even like so much like tell you what to do. A lot of time I think they'll bring it out in you, because if they really treat you well a lot of the time and you care about them too, like, you will want to do stuff to make them happy and stuff like that. And so I don't know, I think as I get older I'm a little bit more receptive to that. And I still have my selfish moments, but like, I would, is if a man really cares about me, the guy really is treating me well or something, I do, want him to know that he's appreciated. I do, you know want to be the princess sometimes, but I don't but I still, I'm just learning that it's okay to be more cooperative, and it's good to just try to work together. And so you don't have to really call it submission, but just, trying to create a better environment for your relationship and you as a person. So tell me what you think.